sipping and roasting. Yeah, that's what we do. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, make that cherry glow. Whiskey and cigars, the gentleman's cologne.
Cheers, y'all. That sounds like a party just about to begin, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine radio program, podcast, and video extravaganza, known internationally as the world-famous Smokin' and Toastin'. We are glad you're here. We are all gathered for show number 453. That's a lot of shows.
Dearly beloved.
Yeah. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. We had a guest planned for this week's show, but they are a little under the weather.
So
we'll have them in for next week to talk about the Whiskey Social and drink some whiskey. But fortunately, when we found this out, and they were very cool about letting us know, hey, this may not work out for the day that we're recording the show. And I said, okay, because they were going to bring the whiskey, and I thought, who do I know that might have a whiskey they could bring to the show?
It does pose a mystery, doesn't
and
it?
I pondered it for a while. Then finally, on a lark, I said, maybe Ian has something.
Maybe.
And as it turns out, he did.
Dude, your timing was perfect. My wife had just walked in from shopping, and she had just bought this for me.
And it's signed, too.
Yes.
That's very cool. This is Saints Alley, The Herald. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac casks, and we'll be trying that today. Who signed that?
Their mother.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Mrs. Saints Alley.
I wonder if I could get my mom to start signing my whiskeys.
I think. Oh, no. It wasn't signed by their mother. It was signed by, it looks like Chris Liquor Hound.
But does it say
What?
blender at the end?
So it was signed by Bart Simpson.
Blender, yes.
Yeah. So it's the
Definitely signed by Bart Simpson somewhere. Chris Liquorhound.
yeah. Don't have a whiskey, man. Anyway, we'll be trying that.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, so remember the I think the one that we had the last time they were on the show was actually blended, or it had something to do with their mother. Because she's one of the employees. She owns a place and,
I remember
and does stuff.
that, yes.
And she's absolutely awesome. So I was thinking that, but no. Apparently, this is Chris the Liquor Hound Trevino.
Okay. It looks like a blend. I see a familiar logo there. Is that the Iron Root logo?
Yes, this is Iron Root.
Okay. So that's pretty darn
Iron
exciting.
Root and Liquor
I don't know why I'm
Hound.
cutting out.
By
Is that
the
my
Liquor Hound.
headphones cutting out, or is that
Must
a
be the
mic?
headphones. Yeah, mics are good.
I'll just have to. Oh yeah, it's when I move this wire. So.
Yeah, stop chewing on your wire and it'll probably help.
Well, this will work actually because when Ian talks during the show, I'll just move the wires and
It's like a
I
water.
have no idea what
it's
he's
like a
saying.
water hose. You just kink it a little
That's
bit.
right,
And stop.
that's
Or you can't hear me.
On today's show, we will talk about whiskey. In fact, we're going to talk about Bartender's cheap whiskey secret. According to an article that I have unearthed, bartenders, many like hip and in the know bartenders, have a whiskey secret that they use like for their well drinks, and it's a $15 bottle. So we'll delve into that and find out what the whiskey is.
Granddad is a $15 bottle.
Well, that could be it. I don't know. We'll have to jump into the article.
I'm just going to say.
We'll have to jump into the article and see. But anyway, Bartender's cheap whiskey secret on the program today. Plus, we'll be tasting some interesting beers. I think they'll be interesting. From Elk Grove, Illinois, and Mikerphone Brewing. We've had their beers on the show.
It's
and
Mikerphone, though, right?
Right. It's not
spelled,
microphone. It's like Mike.
Miter.
And then phone.
Phone, right.
Mikerphone Brewing. We'll be trying their Berlinerweiss ale called the Key Lime Cheesecake Incident.
That sounds awesome.
I like it already, yeah. From right here in our hometown of Houston, Texas, and St. Arnold Brewing Company, they have released a cold IPA, so we'll be trying that. And it is cold, so we'll talk about what a cold IPA is and try that. And then finally, from Tillamook, Oregon, and Pelican Brewing Company, we'll be trying something called Mother of All Storms. Or, as I think you probably should say it, Mother of All Storms.
We should probably put a little reverb on that, too.
It's a barley wine.
Let's try it one more time.
Should we try it one more time? Okay. Mother of all. Oh, see, the reverb's only on Terry's voice because he's the guy that controls the reverb. Mother of all storms.
That sounds suitably
It's
epic.
It's a barley wine ale. Yeah, epic. I like how he brought it in just when you said epic. That was epic. That was a wonderful and happy accident. So we were going to be tasting whiskeys from the Whiskey Social. We'll do that next week. But the Saints Alley blend is what Ian has brought for us to taste today. So thank you for that. We'll.
I hope they're going to be there. I bet they will. I haven't looked at the list yet, but the list is always so extensive.
Yeah, and you don't have time.
I
to
get like eye
everything.
fatigue by the time I'm at the end of it.
Is that what
It
you
is.
get
It is
fatigue?
crazy extensive.
Yeah, I get other fatigues, but they have to do with inebriation, generally speaking. So we will have a couple of our regular features here on the program. We'll be doing drinking news, of course, in the second hour of the show. Our drinking news teaser headline for today is. Now, where did I put my thermos? And if you see Ian smiling, it's because I had actually already written out drinking news this week, and he texted me a link to the story, which was the story that drinking news is about. So if Ian doesn't laugh at the story today, it's only because he already knows the punchline, basically,
Okay.
what the story was about. But yeah, where did I put my thermos?
Is it a punchline or is it a fist line?
I also had to come up with
Foreshadowing. That's what that was.
and I appreciate that. It'll carry people over into hour two. They go, what is he talking about? We'll also be bringing you the drunken fact. It's a fact that you can share with your friends or enemies at a party if they're a little tipsy, and you can come across like you know stuff. My job, I go to a party, I drink whiskey, and I know stuff. And here's the stuff that you might know. Our drunken fact teaser headline for today is. I had to take my gator to the vet. Which you may have heard before on the show, but it's a different fact. So we'll get to that. We'll be talking with you about Cigar Aficionado's new list of a dozen what they call delightful cigars that you need to try right now.
Right now.
But this is the first time I think I've heard of cigars described as delightful. So I'm stoked about this. Plus, Ian and I will both have a cigar review for you. And if we have time to get to this, and I really want to today, the absolute worst beer to batter fish with. and when I say batter fish, I don't mean like taking a bottle or a can and going into the stream and beating fish over the head with it. I mean, if you're preparing, a fish dinner, this is the worst beer to cook your fish in.
See, I didn't know there was a worse beer. I thought that was just what you did with local, but there must be a bad.
I mean,
one
I can
for it.
think of a few that I wouldn't think of. Like, I wouldn't think of doing a fine Berlinerweiss
Right.
and
Yeah.
battering a beer with it.
Yeah. Well,
Years ago, one of our local breweries, No Label, made a beer called Don Jalapeno, which was a jalapeno
I remember.
beer.
I wasn't a fan of it.
And I didn't.
I like
wasn't-
No Label, but I didn't like this particular
I
beer.
wasn't a big fan of that beer either until I stopped drinking it and used it to boil brats.
Oh, see?
And
Now
it
you're
was really
talking.
good.
Now you're talking. Well, this is, I think what you're going to find with this one is it's probably a lot like making sangria. You don't need to use an expensive wine. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
And I've told this story before on the show about my ex-wife, but whenever she was making sangria, and so she'd go get like a box or a jug of wine for it, she always felt the need to explain to the checkout person at the store, I'm making sangria, so the checkout person wouldn't think that she was just buying cheap, crappy wine.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'd be like, I'm getting the good stuff today.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It's going to be a party tonight. Look at this jug.
You think this is enough for just me?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we'll be looking forward to that. Ian has not only brought the whiskey today, but he has once again, just like he did last week, brought our beverage of mystery, and it's frightening me just looking at it. So Terry, let's go ahead and play our intro, and we'll bring on the beverage of mystery. That was quite a pregnant pause. I like that. Just kind of quadrupled the anxiety that I'm feeling.
Well,
about
so
this
I got
beverage.
a little time to
before you
nose
get
it, too.
before you get terribly anxious and before you taste it, I would like to tell you that this actually came from Alan Denny.
Oh,
that
and
makes
this is
it
supposed to
scarier.
allay my fears
Yeah,
somehow.
that makes it scarier.
Come on now. Well, this actually on the nose, I'm thinking root beer.
Yeah, I get root beer, kind of licorice root
Yeah?
beer.
Yeah, a little bit. This isn't some like
Yeah, root beer.
Malort canned cocktail, is it?
You sure are asking a lot of questions. You're supposed to try it.
Before I drink it, I'd
guess,
like to know some things.
Now I'm even more horrified than I was before.
I just
this
hope you're not
certified?
allergic to. No, I'm just joking.
Is this certified by the FDA or is this a non-certified product?
Don't worry, you know, go blind.
Yeah.
My uncle make.
I'm not sure, but what I may go blind after sipping this.
Oh, he
This
sipped
is
it.
not. This is not
Oh,
good.
you're not helping me want to sip it. Just I was enjoying the root beer.
I will say it is kind of like a Milordy root beer.
I mean,
Milordy now becoming a descriptive word.
Milordy.
Milordy.
it's not the
kind of a
worst
Lordy.
thing I've ever put in my mouth, but you know,
Yeah. Well.
it's
I don't want that list.
Yeah. Please don't. Please don't. Okay. I don't like it. What,
I don't like it either.
Okay. how
it's
about
not
you,
good.
Trey?
I mean, it's not. I just think it's like I don't even know what it is. It's like you gotta like it is. It's kind of bad root beer.
I always worry when Ian will text me during the week and go, "Hey, I have a beverage of mystery for this week," because I'm like, "Oh my God, he's found something deplorable." You know?
Yeah.
He's not texting going, "Hey, I tried this canned cocktail and it was really good. I think I'll bring it in for the beverage of mystery."
We
Nope.
need one of
So
those.
actually, last week's I enjoyed. I thought it
Yeah,
was
actually,
fine.
last week's
we
was
need one of
last
those
week's was
like
good.
Family Guy flashbacks to Ian sitting at his house drinking something. Oh God, that's awful.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I have a drink for this week.
Exactly. So, what are we drinking, Ian? What's the beverage of mystery? The big reveal. Is that a beverage of mystery in your ice packet there, or are you just happy to see us?
So I was having a cigar with our friend Alan Denny, and
Who nobody cares
And he
about.
goes, "Hey, I need you to take this in. It's the beverage of mystery." I was like, "Okay," and that's immediately when I texted you. I hadn't even seen it yet, but wait for this. This is Above
Yeah.
non-alcoholic whiskey cola cocktail.
So it doesn't even have alcohol.
It's so pointless. I don't even know what to say. This is for people
Wow.
who just want to pee. Like I don't know why else you would drink this.
I don't know
drink
what to
something
say.
brown
All
and
right,
pee?
so you're not going to get a buzz from
Nope.
it. You're not going to. Is
That
it,
explains
is it
why
like,
it didn't have an
No.
alcoholic
Is it
taste
like-
to it.
You
Is
will
it
get
like-
zero buzz from it,
Is
but
it
at
zero-
least it tastes bad.
Is it 0 calories?
No, I don't think so. I
Does
think
it
it's.
add your own
Oh
alcohol?
no, it's a solid 120 calories.
Oh well, see. So again, talk about
So-
products that have no reason to
So
exist.
why?
a whiskey cola with 0% alcohol is basically just
A
cola, right?
Yeah, it's a cola and not a good one.
You know, here's the thing, just so you know, Coca-Cola has made pretty much every flavor. I mean, they made a flavor that was supposed to taste like space. I feel like if
Oh,
whiskey
wow.
whiskey actually tested on the cola non-alcoholic scale, they would have already done
so.
that.
Above is spelled ABVE with a little zero in the middle of the V for some
Right.
reason. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess that's for the 0%.
I don't know, but it's zero. Well, it's zero. It's 0% alcohol. That's why. So
And when it comes to uncompromising ingredients, quality and taste, our non-alcoholic cocktails truly are above. Now, I'm saying it like that because when you
That's
see
right,
them
yeah.
right above, it's AB capital OVE.
okay,
Above.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Well, what this company has done is they have created the perfect drink for if you are the designated driver and you want to have something that tastes like crap. That's while you're at the bar or the party, you're the designated driver. You got I don't want to drink. I'm driving,
Don't drink.
and so can you give me something that doesn't taste good, but that has no alcohol?
Is this what they do? Do they make soda or do they make beer? Or do they make whiskey? Like
you
what-
have as much
See, I was
information
gonna
as
say,
I have.
I'd like to try one of their
It's
non-flavored
produced
sodas,
by Boom
maybe.
Beverage Corporation, King Street, Toronto,
Yeah.
Ontario.
I can just see you're at the party. You go, can I have something that tastes really crappy? And they go, yeah, here's some Malort. Oh no, I'm driving. Oh, okay, well, good. Here's the above.
Well, in
Yeah.
that case,
Or a boov. All right, we got to take
we
a
got
break.
you, boo.
We will move a boov this segment with better stuff coming up in the
You
next one.
Canadianized it.
We promise. Yeah. What is it all about? We'll tell you next. It's Smoking and Dustin. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about
Welcome
craft
indeed.
beer. What?
I said, welcome indeed.
Oh, yeah. We're all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. Speaking of which, I understand you had the opportunity to smoke something interesting
I
this
did.
week.
Can
Am
I
correct?
just say, long live the Queen
Oh, please
by
say it.
Caldwell.
Yeah. They have some interesting cigar names.
This is one of their pricier cigars too. This one's coming in at like for this size. This was the Queen's Crest coming in at 5.5 by 46. So not a huge cigar, but not insubstantial. And it comes in at about $15. So
okay.
hang that thought in your head. It's got a Cameroon wrapper, Sumatra binder and filler from the Dominican, Nicaraguan, and Indonesia. The appearance: ruddy brown wrapper. Leathery and oily to the touch with a medium firmness overall, very few veins, and 2 bands, one with the Queen's head on it. And I don't know who the Queen is. Maybe it's Nefertiti or one of those. I need to look up the story behind this cigar is what I'm really missing. But the cigar itself has the 2 really cool bands on it. The pre-light sniff on this: sweet fermented hay, cereal, and cedar. Cereal like breakfast cereal, like you just poured some cornflakes or something. Corn puffs. The pre-light draw on this, I used a V-cut, had a medium draw, a sweet creamy cereal and cedar, soft caramel even. The initial light, I got a blast of sweet soft caramel, breakfast cereal, white pepper, and cedar. Retro Hills, white pepper and cedar. The first third on the cigar was sweet caramel, breakfast cedar. Breakfast cedar?
I have cedar for breakfast. I think.
Man,
just
with
last week.
lumberjack
Thanks, I'm trying to quit.
Just this
Breakfast cereal, a hint of cappuccino, cedar, loads of white pepper, and it's just sweet with kind of a kick to it. It's really nice. Solid ash, perfect burn going on this first third. The proposed pairing on this, it's got such a nice flavor. It's a lot of flavor, but it's not a big, super bold flavor. So I'd say like a crisp Pilsner or a sherry cask finished Scotch, something with a little delicacy to it. Go really nice to it.
Nice.
I was drinking unsweetened tea, and it was very nice. The second third is cashew, nuttiness, and toast enter the fray, along with the tangy leather note, medium in body and sweet overall with that soft caramel note in the back of the palate. Sweet cedar note left on the tongue with a slight tingle also left on the tongue. I was a little redundant there, apparently. Sweet and cedar on the lips. Retro Hill is sweet caramel with cedar and white pepper. Solid ash, perfect burn. The last third of this cigar coming in, nutty and toasty notes move forward. Caramel and cedar and cereal remain consistent throughout. Retro Hill is sweet caramel and cedar with a gentle spice to it. Solid ash, perfect burn. This cigar was fun and sweet, if you didn't pick that up. With just a little bit of pepper, like white pepper, though, kind of back of the palate kind of thing. The price to quality at $15 on this, I give it a solid 5.
Nice.
I mean, it's got the complexity, it's got all the flavors, and it's different. It's very left of what I usually buy, you know?
Yeah.
However, I didn't pay $15 for this. I got this on a Cigar Page deal. So I got it for $5.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
It's a solid 7 at $5.
Yeah, no
I mean,
kidding.
it's so good.
No kidding.
And if I bought 10 of them.
Now, I was looking back in my notes because I think I've talked about Long Live the Queen before. Back in December of last year, I did I talked about the Caldwell Long Live the Queen Maduro box pressed wild card.
Yes.
So that's a little bit different than what you smoked, right?
Yeah, this was not the Maduro version.
Okay. Well, the Maduro version, I think I had it priced at $18, and I gave that a 5. So,
Yeah.
So you're talking about anytime you're gonna, look for Long Live the Queen, it's probably worth what it's selling for, and if you get a deal like you got, even better.
Yeah, so depending on the size, it goes from about $15 to $20, depending on the size. And I will tell you that after your review, my review, and having a few of these, totally worth it.
Yeah. All right. That's
And if
awesome.
you can find them on a deal, snap them up.
Now, I smoked this week the La Aroma de Cuba El Jefe. It is a big and bold cigar from the get-go. It's a large, Gordo-sized cigar, 7 inches long, with a 58 ring gauge. It appeared on a number of year-end best-of lists, including Cigar Aficionado proclaiming it the #1 cigar industry best buy more than once.
Oh, wow.
So this is pretty interesting.
That's a bigger stick than you're usually
Yes, it is.
smoking.
But all of this sounds like music to my ears, the best buy part. So let's see if the El Jefe lived lived up to the hype. La Aroma de Cuba cigars are currently made by Jose Don Pepin Garcia in Nicaragua. The blend uses a bold Cuban seed Nicaraguan long filler inside a dark Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. I used a V cut, sliced open the head of the cigar, and took a few cold draw puffs. I got hints of cocoa, cedar, and a kind of an earthy flavor that reminded me of how raw mushrooms smell. You know, you ever get them at the store and you're like, ooh, yeah, they're kind of earthy. I lit up the El Jefe and got a nice initial rust of flavors, but not, I should say a rush of flavors, not a rust. Not a Nicaraguan pepper blast. As a matter of fact, I surprisingly didn't get a notable pepper note at all, at least at the beginning.
Really?
What I did get were notes of coffee beans, cedar, molasses, and cocoa powder, along with a rustic wood note on the finish. A very pleasant collection of cigars, or flavors, rather, to begin the cigar journey. Construction seemed solid from the jump. Second, third, finally a hint of pepper sneaked its way into the flavor profile, but it was not overpowering, and it remained more in the background as cedar, chocolate, and earth had a field day with my palate. Final third, and the El Jefe took me about an hour and a half to smoke. By the final third, it was very much like the first two, except that the intensity of the flavors ramped up a little bit. I was still getting a nice mix of wood and chocolate and earth and a molasses-type sweetness, but the way they weaved in and out of the profile and the way the flavors seemed more prominent in the last third left me with wonderful memories from this smoking experience. The La Aroma de Cuba El Jefe would be a great after-dinner cigar, more for its richness than because it's super strong. But I should mention that the idea of pairing it with a snifter of cognac or a rich añejo tequila sounds like a recipe for a wonderful evening, my friends. El Jefe's a $9 to $10 cigar, which is not overpriced for a stick of this size. But most importantly, smoking it is not only an hour and a half you'll never get back, but if you spend it with this baby, you won't want it back. You'll just want to do it again. Price to quality, a 6.
Nice.
At the $10 to $12
I'll be trying that.
price range. Yeah. La Aroma de Cuba, El Jefe. We'll be right back. It's Smoking and Toasting. We start sampling beers next. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And speaking of beer, the website Tasting Table has gone to a famous food blogger to basically find out what kind of beer you should not use to make a beer batter for your fish. If your fried fish fillets, they say, come enveloped in the lightest, crispiest coating, they have likely been dredged through a beer batter. They're simple recipes to execute, but you shouldn't just use any type of beer. They interviewed Allie Haggerty, a prolific food blogger for the site Seasoned in Salad and One Bowl Bakery, to find out the types of beer you should definitely avoid putting into your beer batter for fish. And while they say that bubbles in the beer are the leading agent, batter needs to become shatteringly crunchy in fish breading. Beer also imparts flavor. So you don't want to choose a beer whose flavor profile clashes with the taste of fish. In other words, the food blogger says, avoid stouts and IPAs. Not appropriate for beer battering of fish. Stouts and certain IPAs are also often less carbonated than other types of beer, which will sabotage that crispy, light texture that makes beer-battered fish so delicious. So with those out of the question, what type should you use? Cold, crisp lagers and pilsners are best because of their clean flavor and likely carbonation for lift and for crunch. As a final tip, she says her favorite rule of thumb is to choose something you'd call crisp and refreshing, not something described as complex or funky, etc. So, there you go.
That being said, I've had great success using some macro brews.
Yeah, oh, sure, because they are, not going to be imparting a whole bunch of flavor.
And you actually get a
the
really, really nice smell out of some of those macro brews when you cool your fire down just a little bit with them.
Oh, interesting. You just use it to kind of make the fire more smoky and less
Well,
less
yeah, if
raging.
your fire's a little too hot when you're going to put the fish on, which can happen on occasion.
Someone goes to pour a good beer on the fire, and you're like, "No, I've got a case for that.
Here, hold on. I'll drink that.
I've got a
take
case for-
this.
yeah.
It's Michelob Ultra Zero.
This is just what I have for battering fish and pouring on things."
Exactly.
Yeah, but Michelob Ultra Zeros, that would be like using water.
I don't we talked about this.
I
noticed-
with the carbonation.
I noticed in our
temperature.
fridge that we have a 12-pack of that is not going anywhere.
Yes. So the reason we have a 12-pack of Michelob Ultra
Just
Zero
10 of them, really.
in our fridge here at work is because I wanted to use it for a beverage of mystery. I saw it in the store. I wanted to use it for a beverage of mystery. And the only way they sold it was in 12 packs.
Also, you should win honorable mention for the Malort incident for what you did with the Michelob Ultra on the beverage of mystery.
Well, that I did it twice?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
Yes.
that's the thing. I brought this in. I put it in the fridge. I pulled one of the cans out. We used it for a beverage of mystery. We did not like it. And about a month or two later, I'm looking in the fridge, and there it is, the 12-pack -1.
Doesn't seem to go anywhere. It's
So
like
I pulled
it's like
one out.
forever beer.
And I did it for the beverage of mystery a second time, just to see if we'd get a different reaction. We did not. We got a similar
I
reaction.
feel like it was even worse the second
It
time.
may have been. So currently, if anyone is interested, the refrigerator here at our studio, out in the kitchen, has
at
a
least
box
10.
with 10 Michelob Ultra Zeros in it, if anyone wants one. Even my staff, many of which, by the way, are not craft beer people. Like my friend Steve, he's
Yeah.
just a macro brew guy.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
you know,
You won't touch it.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
didn't even drink it the last few
No,
times he was
no,
here. Yeah.
it's still sitting there, and no one seems
Okay,
to
so
care.
first off, smell this beer.
All right, this is from Mikerphone Brewing. This is not a Michelob Ultra Zero.
This is-
It is called the Key Lime Cheesecake
Whoa.
Dude,
Incident.
smell this beer.
They describe it as
Also smell my finger.
Key Lime Cheesecake inspired Berliner style luggage ale. I'm not sure what that word is. With lactose,
luggage ale.
key limes, gravity, graham cracker, sorry, gravity. It says Weiss ale. They used a really weird font and it's small. But
It's a little
there
hard
you
to
go.
see.
Yeah, but oh yeah,
Berliner
this
style
smells
Weiss
like
ale
I know, it
with
really
lactose,
does.
key limes, graham cracker, and cheesecake flavor.
this smells like a
So,
key lime cheesecake.
the nose on the this smells so good.
Mm.
It's amazing. It's
It does
Quite
smell like
tart
what
when
Have
you
you
would
take a
taste.
tasted
sip.
it? Yeah, it's a very tart. Well,
but it's incredibly interesting that the
love it.
nose on this is all graham cracker crust, and then you take a sip and it's all filling. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely unbelievably well done.
This
It
is
is-
amazing.
It is so tart in the way that a good piece of key lime cheesecake is tart.
Oh,
if you just
it's
get
just my mouth is watering after
if
that,
you just
too.
get a lime cheesecake, it may not be as tart. But if you get a key lime
Yeah.
cheesecake, that's the little bitty,
Yeah.
specialty limes.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they are tart, and this is tart, and it is wonderful.
I just had a key lime cheesecake from Crumble Cookie a couple of weeks ago. They had one. It was like a blackberry key lime cheesecake, and it was amazing.
and it was
this-
like $52.
yeah, yeah, that's right. That's
This is in collaboration, a collaborative brew with Eagle Park Brewing Company as well, apparently.
I don't know where they got the key limes, but boy,
This
they got
is
some
coming
good
in
ones.
at
This is
6%.
wonderful.
It is. It's pretty. It's such an interesting beer. I've never had one that was so separate like that. Like it smells. You smell the crust, and
So-
then you sip the filling, and it's absolutely amazing.
So after you've taken a few sips, you can kind of tell that it's a Berlinerweiss style ale that comes through a little bit, kind of on the finish maybe. But the key lime tartness is so like overwhelming in the best sort of way that
Yes.
it's just
It has a
absolutely
pretty
delicious.
big mouthfeel too. Like it's not real thin.
It's
There's a
not thin at
little
all.
viscosity to it as well. It's so good.
Wow.
What's the availability of this?
And there's
Well, Mikerphone is out of Illinois, so I think
Okay.
you should be able to find them. Obviously, anywhere in the upper Midwest, you should be able to find it. And I think you can find this. I think you can find Mikerphone Brewing beers here.
Here,
You may have
Like
to
HEB
look a little
or
bit. Yeah.
Specs
Yeah.
or something.
Just, AI has gotten so good at this stuff. Just
Yeah.
go on Google and let its let its AI rather tell you where you can find this
that's a
near
good
you.
idea.
You
you
know?
heard it from cruise people.
Yeah.
Let AI tell you what to do.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
I now don't do anything in my life without planning it first through AI.
through AI.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I spend a lot of time doing nothing.
What are you doing there, Cruz?
Well, AI said.
I can't let you do that, Cruz.
I'm sorry, that's not going to be possible. Yeah, it's AI is kind of scary in some ways, but it's kind of good. Terry is actually typing it
Ryan,
into his
typing
phone
in,
right
where
now.
is Mikerphone Brewing beer available in stores?
Yeah.
And it's thinking.
Oh, AI
It's-
isn't instantaneous,
It's
you know.
searching and thinking. This was ChatGPT, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was Chat.
All right. Well,
Man, that's good.
I try and give them all a chance.
this is wonderful. It really is. I think it comes in 4-packs, and it is just absolutely delicious. And yes, I will take a little bit more of that. Why, thank you so much,
Pass the
sir.
rest of that on to Mr.
I'll pass that on to
Terry
That
over
is
there.
the
amazing,
producer, so
yes.
he doesn't ask for a raise anytime soon. Yeah, no, that's pretty killer.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is really good.
Yeah, remember like back in the '90s when we used to say stuff was killer?
Yeah, killer, man.
Killer, dude.
Dude, that is a killer beer.
Killer.
I worked at a radio station back in the '90s
And
that our slogan was "We play killer music." I'm not kidding. It was kind
Then you fast forward about 6 or 7 years, and you go to Upper Midwest, and everything was wicked.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, Wicked really started up in the Northeast, I think. In
Northeast is what I meant. Sorry, I said Northwest.
Because when I lived up in the Boston area,
Everything's wicked.
there were 2 stages of Wicked. There was wicked, which meant good for some reason. Like that pitcher's got a wicked fastball, right?
Right.
And it was meant positively. But then when you wanted to take it to the next level, you would say wicked pissa.
Wicked pissa.
And I don't know exactly what that even means. It certainly doesn't mean what it sounds like it means, because that wouldn't be a good thing, right? So I don't know, but that's our listeners, maybe our listeners up in the Boston and Rhode Island area can chime in on our email, which by the way is snt@rfcmedia.com. So yeah, send us a
Yeah, at the same time, everything on the West Coast was hella or hecka, depending on.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never quite got hella. I mean, I understood what it meant when people said
Yeah.
it, but I never quite adopted.
I
that
guess
one.
hell of a
I
contracted.
guess, yeah,
Yeah.
it's contracted maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like "I'ma,"
Yes.
which means I'm gonna. But I'm
Or it means-
gonna go out and get some more beer.
I was gonna say, or I'm a hog.
Oh, yeah.
The famous person
Famous,
here.
yeah.
The famous a long time ago left all the money for everything here in Houston.
Yes.
Yes, that was actually her name.
I think
I'ma
that's the name of the.
H-A-G-G.
Yep.
That's the name of the. There's a school in the Heights. It's
Oh yeah, Hog Elementary or
Hog
whatever.
Elementary. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
but
That's
if
a
you
real
think
thing.
that's bad for people who are not from Texas who are listening to the show, we have one that's even more embarrassing than that, and it's something we all love. It's the chain of stores called HEB,
Yes.
which is
Oh,
named
it's
after
so, yes.
Herbert
Howard E. Butts.
Butt.
Howard E. Butts,
Howard
yes.
E.
Yeah.
Butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He did not have the knowledge to stop that there. So like there are still living butts around in the way that I used to play these things on the radio, and there's like his nephew or something, and he's like Howard Butt, or his son, I guess it was a grandson, Howard Butt the third or fourth or something like that. So they just kept that going.
When Terry said there were still living butts around, I immediately my mind jumped to this a video game that I've been playing called No Man's Sky.
Oh, yes,
and I think you
yes,
can
I
land
love
on a
that.
planet where there are living butts around. I'm not sure.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
not sure
great
what.
game.
Yeah, it is. I'm
That's a great-
completely like obsessed with it now.
Yes.
I just fly to different planets and
Yes,
shoot
yes.
stuff. It's like
I mine
this
some
is
things, then I
awesome.
shoot some things, then
Where,
I leave.
where are the living butts? I want to see.
I keep
want to see
threatening
the
to buy a
living butts.
gaming console.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
yep. Get your PlayStation 5 now, because they're already talking about PlayStation 6 in 2029.
Yeah, and when that happens,
And that one's going to be what, $1,400
yeah,
or something?
it will be.
Well-
It's crazy. It's got more computing power than like the computers that landed the first astronaut on the moon and stuff. It's crazy.
Yes, yeah, it's but such great graphics. I mean, when you're playing Spider-Man, now you can see yourself reflecting off the buildings you're swinging by. I mean, it's that kind of precision.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
And when you visit in No Man's Sky, the planet of the living butts, it's a wonderful visual experience.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I know right now
Planet of
there's
the
at least a
living
couple of
butts.
people out there who are playing No Man's Sky who are going, I haven't found the planet of the living butts. Where is that? Can you give me coordinates?
I'm going tonight.
Yeah, that's right. The planet of the living butts. You gotta love it.
It's a great place, but it smells like crap.
I just want. It smells like my lord. I just want to say one more time before we move completely away from it. This
Amazing.
beer from Mikerphone Brewing, the
I'm
key
not
lime
seeing
cheesecake
it available
incident.
here in Houston, but I am seeing it available in the Illinois area over
Okay.
there. So I can't figure
Delicious.
their full distribution yet.
It's just
But
fantastic.
really good.
So when we start out with
And
a
it
really
leaves you with like a buttery graham cracker kind of note too.
and when we start out with a really bad beverage of mystery,
Yeah.
it's always good for us to go to a really good first beer. So I'm
really
glad
good first beer,
I'm glad
yeah.
we accomplished that. I have my taste buds have no memory ingrained of the
That beverage of
mystery.
mystery may have tasted bad, but at least it was useless.
Well, right. At least it served no
At least it
purpose
served no purpose.
of any kind.
Why?
So, all right. Well, we got a moment here. Let me tell you about some cigars to watch for. The long discontinued Room 101 Namakubi Chingon has returned. It is a Japanese reference, but if I'm not mistaken, Chingon may be a swear word or close to one in Spanish.
Yep.
So thank God
Well,
that the government is shut down, so the FCC can't come after us for saying Chingon. But just in case any of you are listening from the FCC, we're referencing the Japanese Chingon, so we're not cussing.
We're not
Anyway, it's a
Why
samurai.
did you get that right?
It's a samurai-themed cigar launched more than a decade ago by Room 101 creator Matt Booth, and this year's release has a new blend and packaging. The cigar was actually introduced in 2013, but it mostly drifted out of production. Had a brief return in 2023, but the revamped Chingons began shipping last week. It's made in the Dominican Republic at Tabacalera William Ventura, and Namakubi Chingon is a double tapered figurado, so tapered on both ends, measuring 5.5 by 60 at the fattest point. Retails for $24.99 each, and the new blend consists of a Mexican San Andres Maduro wrapper, a Sumatra seed binder from Ecuador, and a combination of Pennsylvania broadleaf, Nicaraguan, and Dominican fillers. It's intended to be a full-bodied smoke. I read about this in Cigar Aficionado, where they went on to tell me that Namakubi is a Japanese word referring to the severed head of a samurai taken during battle. The article in this Cigar Aficionado does not define Chingon, by the way. So
I
make of that what
I
you will.
smoked a lot of those when they were out, and I'm glad to hear it's coming back.
Yeah,
Although it sounds like the blend's a little different, but I'm okay with that.
So have you noticed how many cigars, or maybe it's just how many that I've been drawn to and tried, are actually using the Mexican San Andres wrapper now? This has become one of the
great
most
wrapper.
popular wrappers, and it's easy to see why, because it is full of spicy flavor. So especially if you're using maybe some more, I know it said there was some Dominican tobacco in the mix, but there's also a combination of Pennsylvania broadleaf and Nicaraguan and Dominican. It just all kind of blends together, I think, to give you a lot more spiciness.
Yeah.
And that's something that I kind of enjoy in my cigars. So, all right, we're going to take a break, and we will return. We got lots more to talk about on the show. We'll tell you about a few more cigars to watch for, and we're going to be trying the cold IPA from St. Arnold Brewing Company. Next, it's Smoking and Toasting. Are you actually going to eat one of those at the beginning of a segment?
No.
Yeah, you may not want to. We have as our little snack, just so we have something, we have from Costco, where you can buy them in jugs of 7,000. We have these little peanut butter pretzel nuggets, but you can't have one right before we start a segment because you just.
Yeah, like once you put one in your mouth, you got to chew it up, and then there's a cool down period.
That's exactly right. But they are delicious.
Now,
Welcome back.
just so you know, before we start this, I do have a second can
Of a booth.
of a boo.
Wait,
was,
why would you have a second can
Right.
of that? Like, why at all? You knew going in that this
Yeah.
wasn't going to be something great.
He knew this was going to be.
But I guess you didn't buy it. It was just, Denny just thought you
Like I
needed
said,
2 cans of it?
Whenever I get a midweek text from Ian and he says, "Oh, I have a beverage of mystery for this week," I always know. First, I go, "Okay, great," because it's nice not to have to bring one myself every week. But then my second emotion is, "Oh my God, here we go."
What was
He's
Alan
found
Denny
something
doing
repulsive.
with them? Like, why did he have them?
Dude, he bought it for the exact reason. He's like, what the,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly. And I concur with his assessment.
Did y'all try it? Did he try it?
Nope.
Okay. No.
Well, take whatever you have left back to
Yeah.
him and insist that he drink it
That
all.
should be his
I mean,
answer.
I did say thank you. Now I need to go take it and throw it at his house and be like, what did I do to you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you take it back to him and you hand him that can, he shouldn't then have to ask, "Well, what'd you think of it?"
Speaking of cans, we have a can in front of us here of St. Arnold, which is one of our beloved local breweries here in Houston, oldest craft brewery in Texas.
Oh, yeah?
And This is their cold IPA. Now, they have made some pretty, at least in our parts, some pretty famous IPAs. Their Art Car IPA is kind of like a standard setter, and then they make some hazy and juicy ones that are just absolutely fantastic. But cold IPA, Terry asked what a cold IPA is, so I did what most beer experts do, which is I asked AI, and here's what AI told me. Cold.
By the way, this show, we're just all AI.
Yeah,
we don't really exist.
Yeah. Terry doesn't really exist. We just conjured him up in
this is Terry going, please do an AI show for me.
Yeah. Cold IPA is a hybrid beer style that combines the hop forwardness of an IPA with the crisp, clean finish of a lager. It's brewed using lager yeast and fermented at colder temperatures or with a cold fermenting ale yeast, resulting in a dry, light-bodied, and highly drinkable beer that lets the hop flavors and aromas shine. This style intentionally minimizes malt and yeast character to let the hops be the star. So that's from AI. What I found interesting, the St. Arnold beer cans always have St. Arnold himself on here, but in this case, it looks like he's got a hop cluster frozen in a block of ice there in the cold IPA. So it says here, lager fermented, hoppy with a dry finish, cold IPA. Ian, your thoughts, please.
It's delicious.
Now, it's interesting
so
because
interesting and different.
What a nose.
In hearing what we found, from AI about this, that they minimize the malt and yeast character to let the hops be the star. I immediately thought, oh, you may not like this because you're a malt guy.
What they miss in there is there's a super creamy mouthfeel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
wait, AI missed something?
You may have to check it for
really
accuracy.
No, it actually
it really has
really
a
delicious.
super creamy mouthfeel to it that's absolutely wonderful. It's got they nailed it on the carbonation. It's got enough to make
absolutely
it
perfect.
to make it feel a little spicy and exciting on the tongue, but not distracting. The hop comes across as big and bold. Like, let's talk about something that you would expect from Stone.
Right.
On the lighter side of Stone, which is not very light, but balanced, well done. Also, there is a bit of almost resinous pine flavor to it at the end, but in such a good way. And a little sweetness that follows it that I wasn't even remotely expecting. It's really, really nice.
I would say that if you were somebody who's tried the hazies and you like that, but you really like the flavor of a more West Coast IPA, but you sometimes find them a little too much, this is a perfect kind of like in between, because it's got some of the mouthfeel of like the juicy IPAs, and it's got some of the hoppiness of the West Coast.
This is delightful.
But it's not overdone. It's really well balanced.
This might be, as of right now, my favorite of their IPAs. Like, immediately. This is really, really
That's really
nice.
Interesting. We've found a hidden gem here. Yeah.
It's not fruity. It's not a grapefruit bomb. It's not an orange bomb.
It's not super citrusy.
It's a
You're
hop
right.
bomb.
You're right.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to be something else. Very interesting, and I love the dry finish.
I sipped it down. It's great. I mean, just little sips. It's great. I mean, the whole way.
Terry's basically asking for a refill.
Here
So that's what that was. I sipped it right down. My cup is empty. I don't know what happened.
I hope you bought a 12-pack of that.
We need
I
to
haven't
get
seen it. I'll
you
be
brought
buying
two
that.
of the bomb, and then you get one of these.
Yeah, my apologies. The bomb has outmaneuvered me. We got to get those guys back on the show, because clearly they're continuing to do wonderful and innovative things.
Good.
And one of the things that I always found really interesting about St. Arnold, and we pay a lot of attention to them because they're,
They're the
ostensibly
local rock stars,
the
man.
biggest rock star local brewery that there is. And when all the crazy IPA craze started, they were kind of silent. They already had a really good IPA. It was called Alyssa, and it was a very old school IPA.
Yep.
And it was very good. I spent a couple of years with that as my sort of go-to
I used to get that.
beer.
I used to get that at a place over in Rice Village in Houston that had it on cask.
Oh,
So it was cask conditioned. There was no carbonation to it whatsoever. It was all drawn. Pardon me, drawn from the cask, and like just below room temperature. It was fantastic.
Well, I will just say that when the whole IPA craze sort of started, where everybody tried to out-hop each other, they were surprisingly silent. They didn't jump into that war at all. And then as it began to cool and people started looking for something that was big and bold but had a little more balance, that's when they released Art Car. And as far as the local market here is concerned, they captured it. I mean, that has become their biggest and best
I may be wrong
seller.
on this, but when they released Art Car, I think it was a trial, like kind of a seasonal. Hey, we're going to put this out,
Yeah,
and
and it was so popular. Yeah,
that bam, it's just now it's an always
but
thing.
I'm with you. This may be my favorite IPA.
It's
of
amazing.
theirs. It's really good. We got to get them back on the show again.
So good.
They are so good and they're patient with their releases, and I love that about them. So, all right, we have to take a break. We'll be back with hour 2 of the show. That means drinking news is not too far away, and it also means we're going to be tasting us some whiskey.
I like whiskey.
Some from Ian's personal collection, autographed by the blender, apparently. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's Smoking and Toasting, show number 453. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Smoking and Toasting, show number 453. This is hour 2. My name is Cruz. My co-host is Mr. Ian Berry. On the Wheels of Steel, we have Terry Michaels. What's happening? And this radio program is heard all over the country on great radio stations like WBCK, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and WFOX-FM, Southport, Connecticut. Which, by the way, WFOX-FM, I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and bet that they must refer to themselves as
The Cougar?
the Fox.
Oh.
It's WFOX.
I know.
Oh, you were being funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. While I've been doing a bad Casey Kasem impression, Ian has been doing a good thing, which is pouring whiskey. And that's particularly important because we've come to the segment of our program where we like to sample whiskey. Actually, to be honest with you, all segments of the program are segments where we like to sample whiskey. But this is the one we sort of relegate it to. And again,
Truth, my friend.
yeah. And speaking of
And
truth
then for
that
the
I
rest
speak,
of the show.
this one here is Ian's pour for himself.
One of these things
This one
is
here
not like
is
the
Ian's
other.
pour for me. I just like
One of
to
these things
point
is
this
not
out
the
because
same.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be taking some sort of a message from this. Oh, you swapped them. You swapped them.
Yeah, never mind that crushed pill aftertaste.
Yeah, I
my
was going to
friend.
say, I don't know.
Now I don't trust you here. You drink it. But if you drink it, then it must be mean. So this one, I will drink this and you drink it.
Yeah.
I have been working up a
I see your
resistance to iocane powder.
Yeah. I see your trick. The title of next week's show is going to be Ian Roofied Me. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So, all right. So, Ian, tell us a little bit about this whiskey. You said your wife bought this and brought it home for you, correct?
Yeah, you pretty much sold it.
I figure you should keep her.
Yeah,
I'm just
she's
suggesting
pretty awesome.
this.
If she
Yeah.
sees something interesting like this, she'll let me know. But she picked this up. This is the Iron Root Saints Alley. Not
You were
Satan's
the
Alley.
one that
Really want this
That
to be
was your
Satan's Alley,
joke.
don't you? Yeah.
Your
Saints
joke came back
Alley.
again.
No, I don't want it to be Satan's Alley.
Satan's
bad.
Alley, which is the most famous alley in Hell's Kitchen, New York. So it's Daredevil works out
This
there and
is
fights.
this is the Herald,
Okay.
batch number 17. The Herald, a blend of straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac casks.
Oh.
I keep telling Chris Hart that we should have an event that just has Armagnac, and we call it Armagnac-a-thon.
I love this idea. I love this idea.
If you're going to spew,
The
spew in
Armagnac
this.
Because I was thinking Armagnac-a-Palooza, but Armagnac-a-thon is so much better. So
Any of
much
these
better.
are amazing,
Yeah.
really.
I'm really against the idea of adding a palooza to just random things.
Random things.
Yeah.
So
But
coming
Armagnac.
in hot at 53.5%. That puts it at 107 proof. This is a 750 ml bottle, and it's autographed by Chris, the Liquor Hound Trevino,
Oh.
who did the blend on this.
Why didn't you say so?
Named
The
for the
Liquor Hound.
infamous alley which the Barrel Warehouse sits. Saints Alley is the dream collaboration project of Chris the Liquor Hound Trevino and the Licorice family from Iron Root Republic.
So
And we've had Robert. We've had the whole
yes.
family.
We
on
had
it.
Mama
Yes.
on here, Mama Licorice, who comes on and
Mama and the
basically-
boys.
She talks about how it's done.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she is a great guest.
Saints Alley delves into the time-honored traditions of French blending and so it has the little thing over the E, so I'm assuming it's élevage. And Camine's Iron Roots maturation process with Liquor Hound's expert palate. The Herald is the first release from this experienced duo. The meticulous blend brings together the spice of MGP's high rye bourbon, Iron Roots award-winning sweet and viscous heirloom corn bourbon, accentuated by the deep stone fruits and mahogany of French Armagnac casks.
So I'd just like to point out that
Casks.
after Ian swapped his drink with mine, the one I wound up with it's actually an Iron Root.
It is Iron Root glass. Yes.
So I'm very excited. Have you tasted this yet?
Yes.
This is spicy and wonderful.
This is outrageously good.
Yeah, it's very big. What did you say the ABV is, or the?
Yeah, it's coming in at 107 proof, so 53.5%.
It's
So it's
almost
big.
spicy like a rye.
Well, you mentioned it uses rye in the blend, right?
Does it? Okay, that's what I can taste in the rye and the
It
blend.
says it has MGP's high rye bourbon. Look at you,
Yeah.
tasting the rye and the bourbon.
Yeah, see?
There you go.
Which just goes to show, if you
little
hang out
Hercules.
with us long enough, you'll drink a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, you'll drink a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. That's exactly how
It's
it goes.
working. I'm
He's
learning.
accidentally knowing things. I love it. No, this is fantastic. I put a piece of ice in it, and it was even more fantasticer. I don't know. It was just as good. But to me, this is first off, it's spicy, but it's bubblegum all day. Cinnamon.
Right, which it's got that sort of huge bubblegum bourbon, and bubblegum is we say bubblegum, it's like the flavor, not the consistency, but the flavor of those sticks of gum that came in the baseball cards.
Yes,
Or
the
I
ones
guess still
when
do.
you bit into them, they would break apart and then
Yeah.
eventually
They were
chew
like-
into gum.
It's
solid.
the most terrible
Yeah.
gum in the world, but it has a great flavor.
It does.
Right.
And that's a little bit of what
It's a
you pick
classic
up on,
flavor.
that dusty sort of bubblegummy.
Yes, with the little powdery stuff on it. Yes.
But
and then
totally works
but it
here
also,
with the rye.
Yeah.
But it also has a soft butteriness to it that's so
Oh, yes.
incredibly interesting, and almost a cotton candy kind of like finish. It's got so many of these things going on, and for something that has so much sweet flavors in it, it's not an incredibly sweet bourbon.
Correct. It hints toward that
Sorry,
sweetness.
whiskey.
It hints toward that sweetness, but the rye has a tendency to kind of rise up and give you the spices and sort of negate any sort of overly sweet bourbony
Yeah,
flavor.
and it's got a pretty quick whiskey hug, but it's also a very warm whiskey hug. It's not a harsh.
It's still a little awkward, but yes, it's very warm.
It's a little awkward, but you can tell it's heartfelt.
Like that buddy you have that loves to hug, but he hugs just a little too long.
A little too long. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's awkward. You're like, yeah, bud, thanks. Hey. Okay, cool.
Okay, good now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little legs on this thing.
This
It just streams down the inside of the glass and
so
sticks
this
to it.
you said this is 100 proof?
It's 107 proof.
107.
It just is so big. Like you could just tell, like
Yes.
like I really would like to try this with a cube of ice. And by the way, I have brought us and it's outside in the kitchen here. A countertop ice maker, but I just haven't hooked it up yet. So in the future
Look
we'll
at
be
us
able to
getting all
get
fancy
we'll
with
be able to
ice
get cubes of
cubes.
ice. Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
Well, we have
we
the
got
beer
sound
fridge.
effects and
Sound
ice.
effects and ice
Yeah.
cubes, and there's going to be a surprise coming with sound effects soon. So yes.
Oh,
I've
oh.
been working on something
Oh,
fun.
the Wheels of Steel man
Oh,
is working on a
yes.
sound effects
Yes.
surprise.
Yes, sound effects for the new millennium.
Well, all I can say is any sound effects library worth its salt has a really good boing sound effect in it somewhere. And so I'm hoping for that
That's
when
what you got. That's what you got to check the sound effect.
Or that
with.
sound when
bring it-
Scooby-Doo starts to run.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
By the way, which is exactly the same as when Fred Flintstone starts to drive his car.
I will
Yes.
say
It's the
it
same
is.
sound effect.
That is honestly one of the best sound. That's the one we should purchase too. The best sound effect library for
Is
a
the
while you can get it.
Hanna-Barbera?
It's the Hanna-Barbera sound effect library. It does exist, and it's all of those old sound
Oh,
effects
man.
that they used to use. All the ones with
Fred
Jetsons
Flintstone.
taking off. You know.
yeah. Fred Flintstone starting the car or
Yes.
Scooby-Doo running. That's one of the
Yes.
greatest
The
sound effects
Jetsons
Right,
car.
yes.
of all
Me
time.
and my brother rented a little SUV when we were in Vegas and Reno a couple months back. And it occurred to us because it was one of these cars that has, instead of a stick shift, where you go from park to reverse to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that, right? It had a little dial.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
hard
really,
to slam it in reverse.
That's really popular now.
And then jam it
a lot
into,
of the
jam
BMWs
it
have
into
just
forward,
that dial.
right?
Yeah.
Just a dial.
Like there's no slamming it in reverse and jamming it into
Wow.
forward. You gotta, beep, 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 beep. And then the car itself was like it sounded kind of like the Justice car.
They
Oh,
do.
Mr.
When
J.
when some of those come by, I'll be outside walking the dog, and you hear a car come by, and it just goes.
The ones that creep
And
me out
that's
though,
it.
the ones that creep me out though are the electric cars.
That's it. The electric
Yeah,
ones are
all you
so
hear
quiet.
is the sound of the tires.
Just
That's
so
it.
quiet.
Yeah.
Just so quiet. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I want to get an electric car. I really do, but I just.
But you live in
I-
Houston, and
I just
driving
know
is the
it
only way
won't
people
work.
get here. Yes, and
I
that's-
just know it won't get me where I need to go.
You'll get stuck in traffic, and you only have 3 hours of battery.
Yeah.
I don't need my car saying you are almost out of power.
Yeah.
That would just freak me out. That would just freak me out.
When your car goes, "What are you doing, Cruz?"
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to take a different route. I don't think I can do that, Cruz.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's not allowed by this protocol. I don't know how we got off on this, but boy, this is good whiskey. No, it really is. I mean, this is
Because good whiskey foments good conversation.
well, and that's
or at least
honestly,
conversation.
Yeah, then that's honestly part of what the show's about. I remember when we first started, we had a couple of guiding principles. One was samples,
Yes.
and the other one was just that when you do come on the show and you drink good whiskey or tequila or craft beer or whatever, it does open up to some very, shall we say, unorthodox conversations.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe people would enjoy hearing that. Or maybe they wouldn't. Or maybe they would if they were drinking while they listened to the show,
yes.
which is, and we always say that about drinking news, which is coming up in a couple of segments, that the stories are often but not always about drinking, but they are always best enjoyed if you've been drinking. And so you have another segment to get ready.
Yeah.
Because drinking news is going to be on the way here in just a few
If you
moments.
start drinking with us at the beginning of the show, you will understand with us how the show gets so much better by the end of the show.
It's not really, because I've gone back and listened to it sober before, but boy, does it feel like it when you're in it.
When you're in it.
That last segment
When we're
was
in the moment, yeah.
incredible. Oh my
So
God.
what we need,
we
what
should
we need
keep
is
going.
we need a quick start guide to listening to Smoking and Toasting.
Yeah.
So that involves having a cigar ready and a whiskey and a couple beers.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
And if you do that with
Right.
us,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy the show just as
You
much as
toss
we
in
do.
you toss in one patio
Yeah.
and a ceiling fan if you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are ready to go.
Absolutely. Now, it's about to cool off, which
it
means
started to.
yeah, which means we
I know,
we have
and
that.
I love we live in. It started to. It's only 92 degrees.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it was 68 degrees this morning. I
Yeah.
put on a hoodie
Yeah.
and then realized I didn't need it and took it back off. But
yeah. It was lovely outside this
so
morning.
nice.
It's 68.
For
yeah.
the first time last night, after I, tucked my wife into bed because I'm always up a few hours later than she is, and I tucked her into bed, and then I went outside for my final cigar of the day, and I actually put sleeves on. Like it was
wow.
like, wow, this is a moment. This is a turning point moment.
for anybody that doesn't live in the
Hell
in the
area?
central south,
Houston,
let me go ahead and
Hell
point out
area.
the last time I saw the last two times I saw 68 degrees was I don't know, March,
Yeah.
beginning of March, and I think the last time I walked into the beer cave at the local convenience store.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I will
it doesn't.
point out-
At night, it gets to the mid 80s here in Houston. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hot.
But I will point out, having lived all over the United States, when I lived like up in the Northeast, for example, when I lived in Boston, people there respond to the weather just completely differently than Texans do because they're completely used to it. I mean, people will be outside in shorts and shirt sleeves when it's 60 degrees.
yeah.
Because it's the sign of impending warmth. I had a guy that worked at the radio station I worked at with him. He would show up in the middle of the dead of winter, snow on the ground in a hoodie and shorts. That was what he wore. I'm like, dude, it is 0 degrees outside. What are you doing? And he's like, oh yeah, pants are just too much trouble, And
I'm going to point out though that one of the nice things about living in Houston is that if you took all of the days that I wore pants and shoved them into like all next to each other, you might get a whole month out of it.
I'm going to ask AI, how many days will Ian wear pants this year?
Wear the long pants.
We'll do that during the break, and I'll have AI's results for you when we come back.
AI's going to say it's not that kind of party.
It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Sorry, I was occupied. I had to send a text reply at the beginning of this segment about an important text that I got. And so it made me kind of like that person who's sitting in front of you when the light turns green and they don't go.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
had
they're
that
just
happen twice
they're
yesterday.
sitting on their freaking phone texting people, which is
Or
not a
that
good thing.
awkward pause every time the news has a person on location.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Every single time.
Let's go live now to Ian, who is on the scene at the supermarket.
Oh, yes, Cruz.
Exactly what it's like. And you'd think we would be able to, figure that out by now, but no. Just have somebody cue him like
Cue
a
him.
second early,
Yes.
something. All right. At the end of the last segment, I said I was going to ask AI about how many days Ian will wear pants in a particular year. Here's what AI says. It is impossible to know exactly how many days Ian will wear pants in Houston this year, as the decision depends on his personal preference, climate, and a number of other factors. However, based on the number of days in a year, 365, Ian is likely to wear pants on most days that aren't exceptionally hot or humid or that don't call for shorts. I'm not sure how correct that
that's
is.
going to be like
Ian said like
that's
a
going to be like
month.
20.
Well, I
Yeah, I
did.
was gonna say, you said a month. I thought that was a little high.
I did a deeper dive because you can click on Google to do an AI deeper dive.
AI deeper dive.
And here's what the AI says in the deeper dive. It is impossible to know how many days a specific private individual named Ian will wear pants in Houston this year. Here are the reasons why this question cannot be answered. Ian is not a specific person.
You really asked us.
There are countless people named Ian. Without a designated individual, there's no way to track or know their personal habits. Also, a person's daily clothing choices are private. There are no public records or methods to legally and ethically track or predict this information. So,
You know, one time I was producing a show, Cleverly Show, and I was producing this, and I showed up on a rather cool, crispy day in like October in shorts and flip-flops. I mean, I don't really wear those a lot, obviously, but I showed up.
I'm actually wearing that right now.
Yeah, I know, I'm wearing that right now. That's what. So I showed up, and she was like, "It's a little cold for this," and so I then was bet that for the rest of the year, every week, I had to show up in shorts and flip-flops all the way through the end of the year in December to see how that worked out. And I won a gift basket for doing that. That was the bet. The bet was I get a gift basket if I did it.
Terry,
And
please
every
enjoy
time-
these delicious
yes,
pears.
It was great. It was so great. Yeah. Actually, I will say it actually included Maker's Mark in it.
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've been known to wear flip-flops and shorts and a hoodie.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's appropriate in our climate when it gets a little cooler. It's appropriate. I just wanted to mention because you talked about having a basket with Maker's Mark.
Yes.
We don't have Maker's Mark here, but we have the Herald, and we poured it. We talked about this Saints Alley whiskey blend in the last segment, and then Ian brought a water in. I just poured a little bit of water into this.
You did that.
And I'm in love with this now.
Really?
Like, it just mellows it out just enough.
It brings that soft buttery note right up front.
Yeah. Oh man, and it makes it a little easier to drink because it's not quite so like in
It's
your
not
face.
as hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whiskey hug takes a little longer.
Still just as awkward, but it takes a little longer to develop.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
that's very
now
nice.
it becomes that person that wasn't sure whether they were going to shake your hand or hug you, and then at the last second they decide it's a hug,
It's a
and
hug.
it's even.
But you've already kind of turned around and started walking away, so they got to run and catch up. Yeah.
Exactly. It's awkward. It's always awkward with the whiskey.
Now
hug.
they're hugging you from
No.
behind.
Seriously though, this is. It's like, what are you trying to spoon with me, dude? What's up? No, seriously though, this is delicious. Like just that little drop of water mellowed it out a little bit. The heat of the rye and the heat of the whiskey hug is brought down a notch, and all these flavors come like to the surface. Like the butteriness, which you mentioned, is more noticeable. I think the bubblegum is still there, maybe not quite as forcefully as before, but
No, but it brings in a little bit of maple too, little maple syrup.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a seriously good whiskey. I know your wife bought that and brought it home, but do you know what the retail was on it?
60-ish.
Oh, nice.
It's not bad at all.
Between
not bad at
60
all.
and 70, yes.
That's
Oh,
not-
100% worth it. Like,
Yeah, not bad at all.
like on a
'cause-
price to quality, it's kicking above 5. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. This is, and I find it interesting because when you talk about whiskey, $60 seems to be that mark where if it goes over that, you're feeling like it was expensive. And if it's 60 or under, you're like, maybe it's a little splurge because I could have bought a Buffalo Trace at $42, but this is a pretty justified splurge. And this at 60, to me, this is drinking like some things we've had that are much more expensive than this.
Yeah, it's particularly
Easily 80
And
or
I'm
90.
imagining too, like, and I haven't done this yet, but I will probably tonight. Have this with a cigar.
Oh, and I bet it'll be wonderful. Wonderful. Just, I'm thinking,
That wood astringency that leaves too on the back of the palate. I'm thinking something like a Southern Draw, like a Firethorn or a Cedrus.
or even, even the Manzanita would be really good.
Yeah,
with this. I've been really into the Southern Draw cigars.
They're so good.
Lately. Most of them are blended by A.J. Fernandez. I know you've heard of him. I might have mentioned him on the show before.
Is he the race car driver?
Yeah, I think he
He's
is.
the race car
he is the guy. Mario Andretti and AJ Fernandez on the final loop. So I have no idea, by the way,
That guy
what
is
a
smoking.
race car driver announcer sounds like. That was my
Yeah, no, that was great.
horrible.
That was good. Yeah,
Was it
good. That was
okay?
great. Yeah, I'm down.
I know the golf announcer. He's taking a shot, and birdie. That's my golf
That's
announcer.
the golf clap in
golf.
case you guys
Yeah,
call
in
it.
case you missed that, yeah. All right, we got to take a break, and it needs to be a good one because drinking news is next, and Ian already knows the story, so we'll see how this one goes. Drinking news
You
is
got to deliver it like you mean it.
yeah, I gotta work extra hard on this one. Drinking News is a segment of our show where we bring you a story from the news that is sometimes, even often, about drinking, although not necessarily all the time, but it is always best enjoyed if you've been drinking. So drink up, and we'll see you in the next segment. I love that sound. Now, welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And I just want to say that the whole... I understand all the reasons that brewers are putting their beers in cans, and I love the can opening sound effect. But that bottle opening sound effect, that's just like the bomb. Like, I absolutely love that sound.
And I
when a
don't
bottle is
actually
opened.
fumble around to get the bottle opener on there, but that's just part of the drama that you have to add to it.
It is. Well, I think I've shared this before, but back when I was doing wacky morning zoo radio, like back in the 80s, when you would have a character call up, which was always just one of the people on your show calling from a phone in the other room, and they would be
Don't
the
you
character.
give away those dirty secrets.
And when they would hang up, it was always like you always like put the phone towards the cradle and it was like clackety clackety clack, and then it would hang up. And this was, of course, before cell phones, so people understood what that sound
I'm
was.
going to tell you what. When I had a
But remember the click?
I had a studio.
But in this case, it was clackety clackety clack.
You really had to. I had one of those studio phones, the kind that they put out from like 1960 to 1990. That was just the same. They turned from dial to push, and I loved that. I remember when cell phones came around, and I was like, I'm gonna hate this because I can't just slam this phone down.
Yeah, I can't slam the
whenever
phone
I'm
down.
Yes.
You can, but then you got to go get a new cell phone.
Yes,
it's,
I know.
and it gets
just,
pricey.
Yes, it
Yes,
was
it
horrible.
does.
I
love
I
that.
don't mean to date myself, but I'm pretty good at entertainment. I'm good company. But I remember learning to use the phone on one of those dial.
Yes.
Oh, I was one number off. Darn it, clank.
There was no back button.
There was more of a commitment involved in phoning someone back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And you memorized phone numbers back then. Like I remember my old phone number from like when I was 9 or 8, and I remember my buddies that lived right down the street.
I remember my buddy's phone number.
I
The thing
don't-
is his mom and dad still have that phone number over in Spring Branch
Well,
to this
I'll just tell you,
day.
if my phone dies, I am screwed.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I don't know anybody's phone
No,
number now.
I know.
I haven't
no
memorized the
correct
phone number since the year 2000.
Yeah, I don't know anybody's
the
phone
distant
number.
future.
But as fascinating as all of this is, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pick up the ukulele and strum along because it's time for the most popular segment on our program. It's a little thing we call Drinking News.
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
I had to take my gator to the vet.
drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
CMA Award nominee Rowdy Yates.
Rowdy Yates, my friend.
on the Gator line. That's awesome.
And still the guy that gives me the hardest time. He today, if you saw the email to the new
Yes.
IT guy we hired, he said maybe they can fix me.
Maybe they can fix Terry. Yeah, well, remains to be seen. Well, welcome to Drinking News. And before we get into our main story on today's Drinking News, here's a quick one that I just couldn't resist. Security cameras at a McDonald's in a small town.
This is going to start good.
In a
The
small
only thing that could
town.
make that better is in a Walmart and then only in Florida.
Yeah. Well, this in this particular case, it's security cameras at a McDonald's in a small town in Pennsylvania caught a couple of suspects stealing a Ronald McDonald statue from the restaurant.
Whoa.
You're coming with me, buddy.
First of all, I have no idea why anyone would do that. It's not worth anything. And unless you were planning to use it as some kind of macabre
But see,
and horrifying lawn decoration for Halloween.
Hold on, you're one of those people that
You
like
don't
gets
like
freaked out by
clowns.
clowns, right?
Yeah, I mean, and let's
Even
face
Ronald? You don't like Ronald?
it, Ronald is one scary fast food clown.
boy.
I'm here telling you. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of why you would want such a statue. But there's actually only one reason that I'm
Here's
sharing.
someone that never got a Happy Meal as a kid.
I mean, he's hilarious. He's got big shoes.
There's actually only one reason I'm sharing this story with you today, because the news report from the New York Post actually included this line, that the statue was, and I'm quoting here, McFlurried away. New York Post, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I bring this
What
up.
quality writing, New York.
I bring this up only to silence the critics of my jokes here on Drinking News.
Yes,
Because that is a joke that I would have left on the cutting room floor. But hey, I don't have the same
Like,
journalistic.
he wanted to say absconded, but like they were like, wait a second, I don't think sixth graders are going to understand that.
I don't have the same journalistic standards
It's
as
the New York Post,
as the
not
New York Post,
the New York
yeah.
Times.
So since they said it, I'll just share it with you. Pretty sure, by the way, that if my dad is listening to today's show, then at least one person will find that funny. But our main story on today's Drinking News involves 51-year-old Walter Freimeyer, a Florida man
So from McDonald's to the Freimeyer.
who was involved in a rather bizarre set of incidents recently in the Sunshine State. It all began with Polk County deputies receiving a call about a man who was naked in a public park bathroom.
Polk County probably should have its own song by now.
Well, yeah, I know, because there's so many of these Florida stories that are Polk County. You're right.
The Polk County Blues.
Well, always looking for as much information as possible, Sheriff Grady Judge made sure to get clarity on the situation by asking dispatchers,
Florida Sheriff.
is he naked or butt naked?
What?
Now,
I need that for the report.
I will admit to you, dear listeners, I was not aware that there was a significant difference between those two descriptions.
Was he in a stance consistent with urination?
But as the sheriff has clarified for us, and again, I'm quoting here, you know, you can be naked and still have your socks on, end quote. Sadly, the world may never know which was the case, as when officers arrived at the scene, they found Freimeyer fully clothed, so they let him go. Now, for most people, that would likely be the end of the story. But this being Florida, I'm sure you can guess that there was more to come.
Part 2.
Hours later, deputies did arrest the Florida man
Florida men.
They saw him twice in
are
the same day?
for
consistent.
trespassing on a nearby railway and also for having meth on his person. Now,
He was still at least wearing clothes if he had some meth on his person.
for most people,
Meth won't smoke itself.
that would likely be the end of the story. But this being Florida, that was most certainly not the case.
Because they were like, he had clothes on. We're just going to let him go.
As he was being booked, he underwent a standard routine body scan, and the investigating officer is said to have exclaimed, and I'm quoting again, "Dude, what are you doing here?" The dude in question was not Freimeyer himself, but what the cops found that the scan revealed. And that was that the Florida man had a thermos that, in the officer's words, had been, and I'm doing a lot of quoting here,
A thermos.
inserted into his exit ramp, end quote. In case we're not being clear.
You're quoting.
In case we're not being clear.
Prison wallet.
In case we're not being clear here, the perp had apparently crammed a thermos up his butt,
Wow.
ostensibly to smuggle it.
Nothing to see here.
That little handle must have hurt.
Ostensibly to smuggle it into the jail. Because who wouldn't want a steaming hot cup of coffee after
it
being
warm
thrown in a
somewhere.
holding cell? Am I right?
Keeps
Am I
my
right?
thermos warm.
According to the sheriff, authorities were forced to take Freimeyer to a nearby hospital where he was treated by a specialist. It was quite the ordeal.
Guys, it'll come out naturally.
Wait a second. A specialist in what? I'm a specialist in removing things. I'm the Florida specialist from removing things from people's butts.
Specifically thermoses.
Yeah.
It was quite the ordeal, but he's thermosless in the county jail today, the sheriff joked. He added that the team had most likely saved Freimeyer's life, despite the Florida man allegedly
You've
threatening
taken the warmth out
to
of
kill
me.
the deputy who arrested him. Freimeyer has been arrested 25 times in the past.
Okay.
And has served time in state prison on 5 separate occasions, according to the sheriff, because of course he has.
I just want to say, can I
Because
sing another one?
Florida.
Not the first person to look in my butt.
The man remains in custody until his hearing, which should be one of the more interesting items on any judge's docket that day. For further information, a quick check of AI, which we're using,
All the time.
all
these
the
days.
time on the show now, and an Amazon listing, reveals that even a smaller 16-ounce thermos can be expected to be 10 inches tall and around 3 inches in diameter.
That little handle.
Just think about that for a moment. Now, of course, regular listeners to this program know that often these tales of bizarre criminal behavior, especially those originating in Florida, often affect me in an interesting way, causing me to become somewhat inspired. And as you are probably already dreading, when I become inspired, I often like to express myself by composing a few lines of poetry or prose. And this particular story is no exception. So, with apologies to the listening audience and to real poets everywhere,
Apologies to the listener.
I'd like to share my humble verses with you now. I appreciate the poetry reading music. And it goes a little something like this. Florida doctors were able to assess 'twas a thermos up there, not an abscess. So they made an improvement with a surgical removement. Now his cellmate Big Mac has full access. Reporting live from Polk County, Florida, where Freimeyer just remarked, "You think a thermos is a big deal? You should see what I can do with a whole lunchbox." My name is Cruz, and that is your...
Drinking news, drinking news. That's our time for drinking news.
Wow.
Cheers, y'all. Yeah, a thermos.
A thermos.
Just think about that for a
I mean,
while.
I'm just going to, like, for those of you actually watching this show, this would be like a small thermos, right?
Yeah.
I'm holding up what's about
And I
half
bet that's
of
only-
half
that's
of a
probably
roll of
about
paper
12
towel,
inches tall,
or a
so-
single roll of paper
Yeah.
towel if you bought it at a gas station.
Gas station. I buy my paper towels at the gas station. I don't really buy them. I just take more of those. More of those tissues
paper
out of
towels
the,
always have that. This equals 7 regular rolls. You're like,
Yeah.
who the heck buys a regular roll? And then you have to buy one at a gas station.
Right,
with
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Like, oh.
now I see what they're
My
talking about.
toilet paper is like 12 times 50 rolls. Something like that.
You ever
And it
have
won't-
one so big you put it on your paper roll thing and it's hit
totally,
the wall?
yeah,
and you
totally, and you can't even get it to move. Yes,
I have an
absolutely.
adjustable one that like move. It like just goes to however big
goes to
the
however
thing is.
That's because you're like the hip, wheels of steel guy because you have that.
He has solutions.
All right, so the mother of all storms is born apparently at the beach. Why don't you fill us in there, Ian?
Born at the beach. Our home is the beach where in 1996 the original Pelican Brewing Company was born. Today we have taken our breweries and our values to other Oregon coastal towns where we wake up each day in a place that reminds us that the amazing is possible. Cheers, fellow fanatics. This is as good as it gets. It is pretty amazingly good. Today has been a good show for beer because holy cow.
Mother of all storms is a barley wine.
There are many storms. It's an English-style barley wine.
Which is the kind you
aged
like.
in bourbon barrels. This is outrageously good. Like, this is sweet nectar to ease the pain. There are many storms out there, all of them perfect in their own way, but there is only one mother of all storms, and it only happens on the coast, on the Oregon coast. Based on Stormwatcher's Winterfest, our English-style barley wine, Mother of All Storms, spends a year aging in Kentucky bourbon barrels. Now at its peak, Mother of All Storms delivers deep flavors of toasted malt, bourbon, oak. The finish rewards with whispers of vanilla, toffee, and caramel. We suggest you hunker down. The beer is best enjoyed with winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Well, I mean, we do get that here in Houston.
We do. But I will just say, this is... what did you say? What was the middle part there about the when it was describing the flavors?
Oh, flavors of toasted malt and bourbon,
Toasted
notes
malt.
of vanilla, toffee, and caramel.
Toasted malt, which I don't often get in a barley wine, so that's really
It's
interesting.
so good.
Yeah, it really is. And it reminds me, and what you said reminded me, of my all-time favorite quote from The Simpsons. And if you think about it, The Simpsons have had so many great quotes over the years.
Oh, yeah.
An all-time favorite. But it was back when they used to have doing the news was Kent Brockman. Remember, it was voiced by
I
what's
think Hank Azaria does that one.
no, I thought it was the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
The guy
Phil
that passed away,
Hartman.
Phil
Phil Hartman. Oh,
yeah,
Phil Hartman.
I think Phil Hartman used to do Kent
Okay.
Brockman. Anyway, and he was delivering the news, and it was some horrible story, and he reaches beneath the desk and pulls out a bottle of something and swigs on it, and he just goes in that inimitable voice.
Oh, I remember.
Ah, sweet liquor eases the pain.
That's kind of what I was going for there.
Exactly. That's what you reminded me of, like my all-time favorite.
And I think
Simpsons
Hank Azaria was on SNL too.
I love Hank Azaria. He's like one of the funniest guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good. The Birdcage. The Robin Williams, Nathan Lane is worth watching for a number of reasons.
But Hank
Azaria is one of the best ones.
Absolutely.
I can't wear to
And
choose because they make me fall down.
That always reminds me of the character he plays on The Simpsons too, because he always plays that voiced character on The Simpsons as well.
I remember when times were simpler and it was okay to laugh at Apu. We are going to take a break, and we will be back. We still haven't told you about the $15 whiskey that became Bartender's inside secret, so we'll tell you about that next as we wrap up the show and drink this amazing barley wine. It's Smoking
Coming in at
Toast.
14%.
Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars, and occasionally thermoses. We are so glad to have you on board with us for this program. I promised you this Bartender's $15 whiskey insider secret. They say that this is something that bartenders love to pour for one another. So this is like if they're pouring for a fellow bartender, they often pour this. If you know, you know, they say. It's a bottle of Mellow Corn.
Oh, Mellow Corn,
whiskey, a certified cult classic. It was crafted and aged in Kentucky by Legacy Distillery Heaven Hill, and they say Mellow Corn is no ordinary whiskey. In fact, it's proudly not a bourbon. A fact which is driven home by the bottle's unique label. It's like a bright and yellow and green neon sign. It sticks out immediately on any back bar. It's got a quirky old school label that looks closer to a vintage John Deere newspaper ad than a typical American whiskey. And
it looks cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. But they say, Rebecca Corson, who's a bartender at Neat Bourbon Bar in Louisville, says, I still remember what I first said. That label looks like someone's grandpa designed it in the 70s. If they haven't bothered to update the label, what does that mean for the quality of the juice in the bottle? But apparently, the quality of the juice in the bottle is quite good. So we'll have to get some of this and bring
You've
it on
let the
show.
secret out now. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
I love some when we can
I was
let
introduced
people know
to
about an
Mellow
inexpensive
Corn,
secret. Yeah.
by a friend of mine. He happened to be at a bar. This was quite a few years back, but he happened to be at a little hotel bar that he was working at. Me and my wife stopped there, and he's like, "Hey, have you tried this?" I was like, "No, I haven't had it." And I looked at it rather dubiously because it looks like that kind of cheap.
It
right?
looks like Grandpa's swill is what it looks like.
You remember that stuff you pulled out of the freezer?
Yeah.
The label looks cheaper than that.
Oh yeah, right. That stuff I pulled out of the freezer, which was the
In a great
Yeah.
had a plastic bottle, so it wouldn't break.
awful. Yeah.
But it was actually pretty good. I was surprised by that.
T.W. Samuel started.
Yeah,
Took me
T.W. Samuel.
took me a moment to remember
Not
the
so
name.
good a whiskey.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what it looks like. You're saying when you get to the bag,
Oh, it looks
the
cheaper
bottle
than that.
of yellow corn.
But much better.
Yeah, we'll have to try that on it. I think it's time for us to do another bottom shelf whiskey. Blind taste test because that was a lot of fun. Well, most of it was fun.
I mean,
Some
I
of it
still
was-
have some on
some of it was
my bottom
fun.
shelf.
Yeah. You
I won't have to buy as much.
Yeah, you got a bottom shelf we can start.
I've
with,
got a
right?
few still on there.
Yeah, all right, but we have
Some
to
of them
try
I drank
yellow
though.
corn.
Some of them were surprisingly good.
Well, we've talked about Old Granddad.
Old Granddad's great.
I mean, for an inexpensive price point,
Look,
it just
you buy
rules.
Old Granddad, it's $15 or $14,
Mm-hmm.
$16 maybe. You buy Old Granddad bonded, it's just barely north of $20, 100% worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You get the 114 on the north end of the $20 range, so closer to 30. You can get the 7-year at like $35, and
Yeah.
it's outrageously good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Well, with one last nod to yellow corn, made by the Heaven Hill people.
Mellow corn.
I'm sorry, mellow corn, not yellow corn. Mellow corn, according to Jennifer Hathaway, a bartender at Craft One Half in Mishawaka, Indiana, she says mellow corn is Heaven Hill's forehead kiss to bartenders. So there you go. It's kind of a bartender insider secret. And now you know it because you waded through all of the nonsense of 2 hours of this show to get to that. And you have been rewarded with a
Mellow
big
corn,
secret.
yeah. Well, the problem is we let the secret out, people start buying it, and then they don't make enough, so now it's
Then
allocated.
pretty soon it's allocated.
And now
yeah.
mellow corn is $78 per bottle at mom and pop stores because they always mark them up to secondary.
Yeah, I hate when they do. Used to be mom and pop stores were the way to go, and it's so not true anymore.
Yeah.
At least based on.
Oh no!
our
Everyone I walk
experience,
into, like, and I just refuse to do secondary. Kind of offends me when people do that. I'm like, if you're gonna rip off your own customers, I don't want to be one.
yeah. All right, we have just a few minutes left, and I'd like to spend those few exploring your thoughts, Ian, about going from the barley wine to the whiskey, and then back again.
And if you were to look over to my left, what you're gonna see is Voltron.
Can we get a shot of Voltron on the camera there, Terry, for those who
Voltron's
are
in there.
watching?
There
Get
we
the
go.
chair out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to move the.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. We do have Voltron sitting in the corner. It's a Terry actually brought that in, so one of Terry's kids is like missing a toy.
No, that was mine from when
it
that
was
was Christmas
your-
gift from when I was a
it
kid
was
that my
your
mom gave
Voltron.
me. It was
That
my
he doesn't let his kids play with.
It
He's
is
like my toy.
vintage. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
vintage Voltron.
His kids are like, "Daddy, can we play with Voltron?" No.
This was for those of you out there when we're talking about this.
I did
this
have
was,
toys like
this
that,
was
yeah.
a remote control Voltron that would move forward, and then if you wanted to turn him, you had to hit the reverse, and it would just turn one way, and that was to the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you move forward. So if you wanted to turn to the right, you were going a long way around.
I
But
would
I-
say this is Christmas 84, 85.
And I would say that this long
But
and complicated Voltron
this-
intro has something to do with what
This-
you're going to say about
this whiskey is
whiskey.
so good, and it forms like Voltron with this Mother of All Storms barley wine.
The Mother of All Storms is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is.
I mean, if you go from the whiskey to the Mother of All Storms, you're getting a vanilla bourbon bomb.
I want to say that was a $36 bottle of
Oh,
barley
my
wine.
goodness, worth every penny.
Yeah, yeah.
You're getting a vanilla bourbon bomb when you go
When you go back to
from the whiskey to the
yes. Totally right.
to the Mother of All Storms.
Vanilla
When you go
bourbon, yeah.
from Mother of All Storms and back to the whiskey. It's actually amazing. It almost doesn't affect the whiskey.
Yeah, I was going to say the whiskey's very much like what I remember it tasting like before. But it does impact the barley wine when you go whiskey to barley
Big time, but beautiful in both directions. So,
Well, I got to tell you, if you have a chance to get your hands on one of these bottles of Pelican Brewing Company's,
and this one says
Mother of all
2024.
Storms,
So this one,
Yeah.
have you had this one a while?
not that long. Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably had it for 3 or 4 months.
But barley wines, man, you can store a barley wine, and they're only going to get more mellow as you store them. Stouts and barley wines, things you can actually cellar for a while.
I do have some stouts though that we've tried that have turned into stored them for too long.
Yeah, they go a little soy sauce sometimes on you, or just get a little funky. But most of the time, you can get 3 years of cellaring out of it.
I'm always excited to bring a barley wine on the show because I know how much you love it, especially the English style barley wines, which is what this one is. So I was psyched when I got my hands on this.
I wish
particular
more
bottle.
breweries would make like a regular barley wine,
Yeah.
and not the American style barley wine.
Yeah, just make it. It's okay if it costs more. We'll pay it. Want to thank everybody who was responsible for doing the show this week, and largely because that takes some of the responsibility off of me, and I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for being responsible for what ultimately we put out here, which is, again, it's on you. Not me. It's on you. So, Ian, thanks very much for bringing in this whiskey. It's delicious and enjoyable, and only slightly awkward. We will be back next week. Todd Gruby from the Whiskey Social will be with us next week,
Todd
and also
Grube and Mike.
Mike, can you pronounce his last name?
Oh, you know what? I forgot what it was.
Okay, well that's all right. Todd and Mike from the Whiskey Social will be here next week. We had to delay them 1 week, but they'll be here next week, and they always bring some very
Mike
interesting.
Higdon, sorry. Okay.
Thank you. They always bring some very interesting whiskeys with them, and unlike when Chris Hart used to come on and promote that, some of these whiskeys may be ones you can actually buy somewhere. So we're very excited about the whole thing. Have a great week, my friends. We will speak to you then, and of course, as we always like to say,
Cheers,
y'all.
y'all.
There she goes.